Welcome back to Talk and Fight. Thank you for joining me once again for another episode of Boxing News Today, where we feature all the news and headlines from across the pond, courtesy of our friends at boxing247.com. Well, boxing fans, we have some news right out of DKO Boxing Management first. DKO Boxing Management has gotten off to a fast start in 2022, as two of its prize fighters remained undefeated, while a third undefeated fighter fights for a high-profile bout coming up on February 5th. On January 7th, William Foster III remained undefeated with a tough 8-round split over previously undefeated Edwin De Los Santos. The fight was the opening bout of a Showbox, the New Generation card, which was on Showtime. On that same card, on the off-television portion, heralded super middleweight Elvis Figueroa won an 8-round unanimous decision over Ryan Adams. Coming up on February 5th, undefeated featherweight Edwin Vasquez takes on Raymond Ford in a 10-round bout for the WBA Continental Featherweight title at the Footprint Arena in Phoenix, USA. Good for them. All right. Amir Khan says he's not ruling out a future showdown with Conor Benn, based on comments made from Eddie Hearn recently, but insists he's on a different path to his compatriot. Khan is training in Colorado as he prepares for his long-awaited grudge fight against Kell Brook in Manchester on February 19th. Undefeated welterweight Benn has called for clashes with both men in the past, and former world champion Khan says he's not completely dismissing a meeting with the Destroyer. I think he's a brilliant fighter, Khan told Pro Boxing News. Obviously, we're on a different path, but who knows? Anything can happen in the future. We've seen fights happen that we never, ever expected. At the moment, my eyes are on Kell, making sure I get through this fight, but who knows in the future? A fight with Conor could happen or could not happen. It depends on how things play out. Benn blasted out former world champion Chris Algieri with a stunning 4th-round knockout in Liverpool in December. In the post-fight press conference, the 25-year-old promoter Eddie Hearn said a fight between the pair would be over in 2 rounds, and Khan has now responded to the comments. Eddie's a promoter, isn't he? The 35-year-old added. Eddie's a promoter, and obviously the promoter's going to say that just to lure me into that kind of fight. But at the moment, like I say, I've got Kell Brook fight there, and if it was Eddie's man, if I was Eddie's fighter, I don't think he'd be saying that. If I was Eddie's fighter and Conor wasn't, then I think I might have been on the opposite side. As a promoter, Eddie, I'm sure, is going to be backing his fighter. Conor's a great fighter. Eddie's a great promoter. And to make fights happen, that's what you have to do. You have to lure the guy in. MTK Global will head to Grays Civic Hall in Essex for an action-packed card on Friday, 11th of March, with a number of talented prospects in action, such as Inder Bassi, who's 5-1, Shaquille Day, who's 13-1, Mitchell Fearson is 5-0-1, going up against Bruman Amati, who's 1-0, Jordan Perkis, who we reported on yesterday, who's 2-0 with 1 knockout, stays active as he prepares for his 3rd professional fight after making his debut back in September. And while highly rated, James Osborne enters the paid ranks for the first time as well. Said MTK's Leigh Eaton, we're really pleased that we can get some of our local fighters out on this bill in Essex. A lot of them haven't had a chance to fight during the pandemic, so this is the perfect chance for them to return. They all have bright futures ahead of them, so I'm confident it's going to be a fantastic night of action at the Grays Civic Hall. Elsewhere in women's boxing, Terry Harper is going toe-to-toe against Heather Hardy at Motor Point Arena in Nottingham, taking place on March 12th. Terry Harper will face former world champion Heather Hardy for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Lightweight title on the undercard of the Leigh Wood WBA Featherweight World title defense against Michael Conlon. As I said, that's taking place at the Motor Point Arena in Nottingham on the 12th of March. Former WBC and IBO Super Featherweight World Champion Harper, who's 11-1-1 with 6 knockouts, returns to the ring for her first fight following the dramatic end of her title reign against USA's Alicia Baumgartner at the Utilita Arena in Sheffield last November. March 12th marks the first fight at lightweight for Denby Main's Harper since 2019, and the 25-year-old has dreams of becoming a 2-division world champion and a potential showdown with Irish legend Katie Taylor, who currently holds all of the belts at 135 pounds. Brooklyn's Hardy, who's 22-2 with 4 knockouts, previously held a WBO featherweight world title, losing the belt to 7-division world champ Amanda Serrano, who's 42-1-1 with 30 knockouts back in September 2019. The Heat last fought in May of 2021 when she was outpointed by Jessica Camara over 8 rounds. Claressa Shields, boxing superstar Claressa Shields, boxing's only 2-division undisputed world champion, held a media workout in Detroit on Tuesday as she nears her WBC, WBA, IBF middleweight world championship defense against #1 ranked challenger Emma Kozin, taking place on February 5th. And that would be live on pay-per-view in both USA and Canada. Shields will be making her UK debut as a professional, entering the ring as the co-main event for Motorpoint Arena in Cardiff, as we said, with star UK middleweight Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Williams meeting in that main event. Guided by Salida Promotions, Shields signed a lucrative multi-fight deal with boxer and broadcaster Sky Sports in the UK that has put her on the path towards a super fight showdown with WBO middleweight champion Savannah Marshall sometime in 2022. Speaking of Leigh Wood and Michael Conlan, they had words. There were heated words, in fact, exchanged as Leigh Wood and Michael Conlan went head-to-head on the first day of their press tour ahead of their WBA featherweight title fight. Wood, who's 25-2 with 15 knockouts, defends his title against Conlan, who's 16-0 with 8 knockouts, as I said, at the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham on the 12th of March, and that'll be live on DAZN. The two men spoke in front of the media in Nottingham on Wednesday, and there's a lot of back and forth between each of them. Let's start off with what Wood said. I'm extremely focused. I was at Nottingham Arena as a young boy watching folk do it. I knew eventually my time would come, and I'm not letting this slip. I'm one fight away from a fight at the city ground, and that is my dream. I'm here to do a job. I'm focused on Conlan, and I know what I need to do to win. I respect him as a fighter, and I need to make sure that I'll do everything to win. I keep beating everyone who's put in front of me. I'm going to knock him out. For his part, Conlan said, I've had an underdog mentality since I was a baby. Every fight, I back myself. I have answers for what anybody does. I wished him good luck on the week of the fight, and I wanted him to win. He seems like a nice guy. I don't know him personally, but I have respect for him. But it will be and the new in Nottingham. Elsewhere, we see that Australian standout Andrew Maloney still has his eyes firmly set on Kazuto Ioka as he looks to become a 2-time world champion as he sets up his next fights. Moloney is one of the stars during COVID-19, having been one of the featured fighters on ESPN and Top Rank, alongside his brother, world-rated bantamweight Jason Moloney. Moloney discussed his global exposure during this pandemic and what it means moving forward. He said, I was so grateful to my manager, Toli Toj, and Top Rank, who gave me the opportunities during the most difficult period the world has seen in 80 years to ply my trade on one of the biggest networks in the world, ESPN. I've had great exposure in the past when I won the Commonwealth Games, so I know the importance of being known within boxing globally, and it was nice for that to happen, again on ESPN, and with the best promotional company on the planet, Top Rank. If you want the big fights, you have to be well known all around the world within boxing circles. The importance of being known is much more important, especially in the lower weight classes, because they don't always get the exposure they deserve. Established boxing manager, best known for his eye for talent and guiding amateurs into the pros, Tim Van Neuhaus has signed Milwaukee's own Danielblancas, a 6'4" middleweight who was a 13-time national champion. I wanted to start my career off right, and I know Tim will guide me the best possible way, said Blancas, who is just 20 years old. It's all about working with the right people, and I believe we've built a strong team. I'm ready to make my pro debut and take steps necessary to follow my dream of becoming a world champ. Blancas is huge for the weight class, and he has good power to go with his height, said Van Neuhaus, whose stable includes prospects Naji Lopez, Darrell Basant, John Paul Rivera, and Tommy Wu. He said, I've been following Daniel for many years. He entered the sport at just 8 years of age. He's a wonderful father and family pushing him to be the best he can be. He's a charming young fighter who is physically gifted with good ability. Soon, everyone will see his fan-friendly style, and I expect we'll see a bunch of knockouts from him. So there you have it, boxing fans. All the news fit to print, courtesy of our friends over at boxing247.com. And I'd like you to remember to share and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell and hit the likes as well. Thank you very much. We'll see you later on at 4 p.m. with Mike Gore at 4 and Hannah Bagley in the studio.